Before I start this video, I just wanted to say rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. This man has changed not only my life, but millions of lives around the world. I wouldn't be into anime because of this man. My life would probably be completely different without his stories and his characters. So I'm forever grateful for that, and I just wanted to take this time to just honor him. Hey, how's it going? In today's video, we're talking about one of the more iconic Dragon Ball Z movies, and that's Broly's Second Coming. This movie is very unique by Dragon Ball standards. For one, Goku and Vegeta are not the stars of this film. This film actually shines a lot more light on the secondary characters and has one of the most underrated fights in the franchise between Gohan and Broly. There was one particular scene near the end of the movie that fans have been debating about for years, and that's the final clash between Broly, Gohan, and Goten. The question being, did Goku actually show up to help Goten and Gohan defeat Broly? I think the answer is a lot more interesting than people would initially think. So with that being said, let's dive right into the theory. Originally, this movie could have actually fit into canon, and I'm talking about before Dragon Ball Super ever came into existence. Specifically around the time the Dragon Team were preparing for the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament, and there are several indicators to support this. 1. Goku is dead, and 2. Vidal's design in the movie indicates this is after Gohan taught her how to fly. Also, since Goten and Trunks don't fuse into Gotenks, and we don't see Ultimate Gohan, these serve as more indicators that this is everything that takes place before Boo. Some may argue if this movie fits into canon, then why don't we see characters like Piccolo or Vegeta appear and help Gohan fight Broly? I believe the reason why we don't see Piccolo or Vegeta in this movie is because they were both respectively training for the tournament. Vegeta in the actual show had a lot more incentive to train alone after learning that Goku would be entering the tournament. He could have easily went into space using Dr. Brief's Capsule Corp spaceship as well. So even if Vegeta sensed Broly's ki, it wouldn't matter since he wouldn't make it back to Earth in time to do anything about it. We also know that Piccolo decided to live on Kami's lookout after the events of the Cell games, and we know he could have easily used the Room of Spirit and Time to train at any given moment. Because he's in another dimension, it makes perfect sense why he wouldn't be able to sense Broly. It's kind of a good thing because this gives the other characters more time in the spotlight. If post-Cell games Vegeta fought Broly, this movie would have been over in no time. The movie actually opens up with Goten, Trunks, and Videl looking for the Dragon Balls. Each of them has a rather selfish or immature wish they desire to have Shenron grant. Trunks wants his own personal amusement park. Goten wants to live in a land where he has all the candy and sweets he wants. And Videl wants to see Shenron and likely make a wish for her own personal gain as well. It's interesting they go through so much trouble just to see Shenron, but he never once makes an appearance in this film, and I think this is purposefully done. Through all their shenanigans in the village, Goten fake cries, which is a long story. Actually, no, it's not. I just don't feel like talking about it. He awakens Broly, who was frozen in a glacier for 7 years. It's likely after Goku injured Broly in the last film, he roamed space and sensed and followed Goku's ki. Broly, unlike in the first movie though, doesn't have a lot of dialogue, which is a missed opportunity, but I actually understand where the writers were going with this. Broly is supposed to represent an unstoppable force of nature. He represents all future threats that the Z fighters would have to face without Goku being around. He is also someone Goku could not defeat on his own, raising the stakes for when he would make his return after Goku's death. When we see Broly in action, he is not the legendary Super Saiyan. Rather, he is presented for the first time in his regular Super Saiyan 1 transformation. This was portrayed as an indicator that he is free from Paragus' control. As of the last movie, he was restricted and had to use that more restricted version of the Super Saiyan transformation because of Paragus' technology. Paragus controlled Broly for his entire life in this continuity, and now that Broly has killed him, he no longer has any real goals, nothing to aspire to. All he has remaining is his bloodlust and hatred for Goku, which is why he constantly screams his name. That is the only purpose he has at this point. He knows nothing else. What he never realizes in this film is that Goku already died, saving the world from Cell. So he literally is chasing a ghost. His only real purpose in killing Goku can never really happen. Gohan, Goten, and Trunks all go through character arcs throughout this film. Goten and Trunks are kids, and naturally they think like children. Yeah, they're running away from Broly, who is actively trying to kill them, but it's presented in a comedic and lighthearted fashion. They have no idea who Broly is. They don't know he's fought their fathers in the past. They just think he's some weirdo that just happens to be ridiculously strong for no reason. The theme of the movie, in my opinion, is about growing up and moving to maturity. While they don't take Broly too seriously at the beginning of the movie, once Gohan arrives, the tone completely changes. He knows how dangerous Broly is, being the only character in this film to have fought Broly twice. Gohan's character arc is a bit different from Goten and Trunks, because although he doesn't view the world through a childlike lens anymore, like he did in maybe the first movie, he's taking steps in this film to become a more responsible adult. He really did remind me of future Gohan at certain points, because in this movie, he is Earth's current strongest defender since Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo are gone, and he defends his little brother Goten and little brother figure Trunks. This movie was truly Gohan's time to prove that he was ready to take the mantle and defend Earth. Personally, this is one of my favorite versions of Gohan. Throughout their battle, Gohan always seemed to be one step behind Broly. When they first clashed, Broly was in his Super Saiyan form, and Gohan was in his base form. Once Gohan goes Super Saiyan, Broly then enters his legendary Super Saiyan form, and Gohan is still overwhelmed. He doesn't have the luxury Goku did in borrowing everyone's power to defeat Broly like last time either. He is completely alone. Gohan, unlike Broly, though, is actually smart and uses his environment to his advantage to hurt Broly by sending Broly into hot lava. Gohan passes out and is ultimately saved afterwards. The person Gohan thinks saved him is Piccolo, but he soon learns it was actually Krillin in a Piccolo costume. It was a nice subversion of expectations and funny a little bit, but the fact that Piccolo isn't there further proves that Gohan in this film needs to grow up. He is the defender of Earth now, and he needs to stand on his own 2 feet. Broly, unlike Gohan, has not grown as a person. In fact, if anything, he has regressed. He should have died 7 years ago, but instead he was frozen in time only to emerge as a ghost from the past a few years later. Broly decides he's done playing around and shoots out a blast to kill everyone. He doesn't even consider that he won't get to fight Goku by blowing up the planet. He is completely irresponsible, like a child, not thinking about the consequences of his actions. Gohan, in a similar position to which he was against Cell, throws a Kamehameha to counter Broly, but it doesn't do much. Goten was scared of Broly throughout this entire film. This is someone Goten witnessed hold down Gohan, who is the bravest and strongest person he knew at this point in his life. He doesn't attack Broly because he thinks he can win. He does so because he believes in his older brother. This is symbolic of him progressing as a character. Goten only knew Goku by reputation at this point. Gohan and Chi-Chi definitely would have told him stories on how brave his father was and how he could stand up to anything. And it's likely Goten saw pictures of him as well. Goten's character arc comes full circle, and instead of making a wish to play around, he asks Shinron for help to defeat Broly. Somehow, Goten's wish is granted and Goku appears. This is purely my take on this, but even though Goku appears, I don't think it's actually him. Shinron can't bring anyone back to life who has already come back before, so it should be impossible for Goku to be revived with the Earth's Dragon Balls. And Goten's wish in the Japanese version is very ambiguous compared to the dub. What I believe the Dragon Balls did, not Shinron, was send an image of Goku to support his sons, and this image of their father gave them the motivation they needed to kill Broly. There are plenty of indicators that suggest this isn't Goku. 1. Where is his halo? 2. Why is his body glowing the way it is, almost like a hologram? Goku also never physically interacts with anyone and completely disappears once Broly is killed. If that was truly Goku, wouldn't he speak to his sons telepathically via King Kai after Broly was killed? That never happens. Also, Goku isn't surprised he's back in the world of the living or that Broly is back, which is also questionable. Goku's dialogue to Goten and Gohan also calls back to the theme of this movie, which is maturity. Goku first speaks to Gohan, telling him that he's not giving it his all against Broly. And he's right. Gohan has nearly unlimited potential, and if he puts his mind to it, Broly should have been nothing to him. Goku reassured Gohan that he can be Earth's defender, regardless if he, Piccolo, or Vegeta are around or not. Goku then speaks to Goten, telling him to be brave. This image of Goku knew about Goten's fear of Broly throughout the entire movie. He reinforced that if Goten wants to take the steps to be like Goku and Gohan, he needs to stand his ground right now. Ask yourself this: if this was the real Goku, why did he not use anything aside from Super Saiyan 1? Super Saiyan 3 would have been more than enough to handle DBZ era Broly. This would only make sense if Goku was just a manifestation of the two brothers' desire to change. This movie takes place before the events of the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament. So Goten and Gohan only witnessed Super Saiyan 3 during the Buu conflict. So at this point in time, they had no idea Goku can use Super Saiyan 2 and 3 at all. In the fan manga Dragon Ball Multiverse, they actually had a special retelling the events of Broly's Second Coming. In this version of events, Goku returns to help Gohan and Goten. However, he uses instant transmission like he did in the BoJack movie and uses Super Saiyan 3 and instantly blasts Broly away and teleports back to Otherworld, which is a lot more reasonable. The reason why Broly ends up losing in the beam struggle against Goku's family is because, from a story perspective, the beam struggle between Gohan, Goten, and Broly is about their resolves as characters. Broly is stuck in the past, not willing to move forward, not willing to seek new goals, and not willing to grow as an individual. He remains immature to the very end. His only lines in the movie indicate his entire character, yelling out Kakarot, never realizing his foe has been dead for years. In the Japanese version and English version, he pretty much declares in his only normal dialogue in the film that he is going to kill Gohan. He's a child. He's no different from when Paragus first controlled him and as he wiped out civilizations. Gohan and Goten, on the other hand, do see better versions of themselves in this movie, and Gohan likely tapped into his Super Saiyan 2 power to win alongside Goten's strength, giving him the edge. I'm starting to think that before Dragon Ball Super ever came into existence, that Toei Animation wanted to make the Dragon Balls even more mythical outside of Shenron. Goten's wish in Broly's Second Coming is not that different from another non-canon movie, which is Dragon Ball GT: A Hero's Legacy. Goku Jr. literally went to Goku's old home and found the 4-star Dragon Ball. He then made a wish that his friend Puck and his grandmother Pan would be okay again. Puck literally fell to his death earlier in the film, and Pan was at death's door due to her old age and health issues. All of a sudden, after Goku Jr. meets adult Goku, Pan and Puck appear on a helicopter and are perfectly fine, like nothing ever happened. Then Goku, just like in Broly's Second Coming, disappears without a trace after the wish has been granted. So it had me thinking that in the Toei version of events, that the Dragon Balls on their own without Shenron can actually grant wishes so long as they are completely selfless. Just something to think about. But what do you guys think? Did Goku actually appear in the movie, or was that an image of Goten and Gohan's resolve manifesting in the form of their father? Until next time, guys. Peace.